Hello, this is MemeAnalysis, and today we're going to be talking about the tarot, a very ancient and very complex system that you might have only seen used in movies or at parties as sort of a silly fortune-telling gimmick. But I would like to show you the true nature of the tarot and give you a brief insight into the nature of the cosmos according to magic and esoteric systems. So stick with me as we investigate the mysteries of the universe. To begin, we can start just with the back of one of Aleister Crowley's Thoth tarot, and you see a cross with four colors about the cross. This is the mystery of the elements. This is the mystery of the four elements. But before we get too deep into that, let's look at it visually. So, we start magically with nothing, with zero. Zero, the creative nothing, the emptiness that hungers for manifestation. And of course, as we know, God divides it. Nothing is divided into two, into something and nothing. So, we are given insight into this division. The Taoists call this yin and yang. This is the magical formula 0 equals 2. So, how do we depict this? So we get 0 equals 2. But we also have symbols of these energies, these split energies, in the form of triangles, in the form of fire and water. An upward triangle is fire, and the downward triangle is water. These are the two fundamental energies, the infinite up, the infinite down. To the Taoists, this is yang, the masculine energy that goes up, and yin, the feminine energy that goes down. From those two, we of course double it. It becomes the four elements. So now we get earth and air. These four elements, which are in fact two fundamental elements that become blocked, that become limited. Earth is the limitation of water. The downward flow that does not infinitely go down stops itself and becomes earth. Fire, the infinite upward that does not go infinitely up and stops, becomes air, which is why these two triangles have lines through them. So, and this is also mirrored in the I Ching, but let's stay away from the I Ching just for now. I'm going to do another video on that. So, these four elements give us the suits of the tarot. So the four arms of the cross, we get fire, which is wands, cups, which is water, discs, which is earth, and look at that, swords, which is air. Now, these four elements, now you might be thinking, there aren't just four elements, look at the periodic table. Let me tell you, I think you're silly. I think you're not looking at the obvious, which is what? Solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. Fool. That's what it is. These are states of matter. The word element has, of course, become diverted from its original meaning. So yeah, duh, there's not just four things, but there are four states of matter, four magical states of matter. And what's the basic idea of this? these are present in us. This is the idea of the microcosm and the macrocosm, which is utterly essential to magic. That everything that happens in the universe, the character of the universe is our character. That we are like the universe, that we are like God, and God is like us. You know, we were made in God's image. So these four states are linked then to parts of ourselves. Fire, these are our passions, our great emotions, our impulses. Air, swords, our intellect, our intelligence, our mind. Cups, our deeper emotions, our feelings that we feel in our hearts. You know, not so much the fiery impulse and the fiery activities of wands, but the deeper emotions. And discs, our bodies, our material forms. Those four are the beginning of the tarot. These are the four suits, just like there are diamonds, hearts, spades, and clubs. The four suits in the deck of cards are present in the tarot as well. They, in fact, share the same ancient origin. So, let's keep going. Let's keep digging. So, we go from 4 to 7 with the planets. We get the sun, we get the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, hello little ant, and then we get Jupiter and Saturn. These are the 7 classical planets. The 7 classical planets that emanate. Now again, 0 to 2 to 4. Creative nothing divided in 2. Something and nothing. Up and down, black and white, male and female, into 4 elements, the doubling of that duality. And then you might be thinking, well, why isn't it 8? Well, you know, I don't know. I don't know why the West picked 7. Let me tell you, the East, they stuck with 8. But we're going to get into that in the I Ching video. So, 7 planets. Now, these 7 planets, which, you know, we can't really zoom in that great, but if you look at the, so, all right, I'll just give a little more insight into the rosy cross on the back of this. So the 3 that this starts with, this is using the Kabbalist system, not necessarily the direct Western esoteric tradition of Hermeticism. So those 3 are the mother letters, that is Shin, Mem, and Aleph. That's why that starts with 3. But you'll see directly after it, it starts with 7. With 7. And those are the 7 planets. The 7 petals are the 7 planets. Their colors. And then, we'll rush ahead a little bit. I'm going to just give you a hint. The 12 around that are the zodiac. So I'm not going to go in depth on all the planets just yet because I just want to talk about the technology of the tarot first. So the major arcana. There are 22 major arcana. These are the big cards, the trump cards. Beautiful, big cards. The universe, for example, is Saturn. This card itself represents Saturn. Kabbalistically, it is Tav. Now, death, on the other hand, represents Scorpio, the zodiac sign. Just the zodiac sign, Scorpio. And the letter is Nun, Kabbalistically. So, this is the structure of the tarot. 4 elements, 7 planets, 12 zodiac signs, And those 3 mother letters, which are 3 of the elemental cards, there's not a 4th, there's not an earth card, because I think the deck itself is earth. The deck itself is materially real. But that's the basic of the tarot. But you might be thinking to yourself, what the hell does this mean? None of this means anything to me. Well, let's do a quick dive into the writings of Mr. Aleister Crowley and his writing in this book 4, Magic in Theory and Practice, on divination. Let us first consider the question of the compendium of symbols. The alphabet of a language is more or less an arbitrary way of transcribing the sounds employed in speaking it. The letters themselves have not necessarily any meaning as such, but in a system of divination, each symbol stands for a definite idea. It would not interfere with the English language to add a few new letters. In fact, some systems of shorthand have done so. But a system of symbols suitable for divination must be a complete representation of the universe, so that each is absolute and the whole insusceptible of increase or diminution. It is, in fact, technically a pentacle in the fullest sense of the word, which is to say a complete circle. So, the idea of divination as a compendium of symbols to both depict and constitute a universe. So, when we look at this, when we look at the back of a tarot card and we see all these colors and all these things going on, we are given a cosmogram. A cosmogram. That is an image, a picture of the universe. This is a picture of the universe. The 4 elements, the 3 mother letters, the 7 planets, and the 12 zodiac signs. Now, of course, you might be thinking, oh, that's a really, really simple universe. Yes, it is. It is, because it is made to be legible to human beings. The more legible, the more useful in the context of divination and magic. Now, the basic thesis is that with these cards, we can understand everything, that we can make sense of all phenomena through this set of symbols. But if you've followed my channel for a little bit, you might know that, in fact, I have a deck of cards. Why did I make a deck of cards if this is a perfect set of understanding? Well, quite simply, I made this to give insight into the nature of these symbols. Because I think that while tarot is extraordinarily useful, the mysteries of it are in fact extremely difficult to comprehend and to utilize. So I made this tool to help you understand the tarot. Now, he made reference to language, to the alphabet. Now, we need only look at the symbols. I'm not sure if you got a really good look at them while I was showing the cards, but the cards have these symbols on them. And I wanted to show what these symbols are, what these symbols depict. So, right in the beginning of the video, I talked about the downward triangle as the symbol of water. Just think of this literally as a waterfall, as a faucet, as water spilling. Water goes down. Water follows the path of least resistance. That is why water is a downward triangle. And if you look at, fire, I don't know if I have my lighter right with me. Oh my goodness, we're getting covered in sap right now. I can tell you that much. I used various astrological symbols that I found fascinating. I used the traditional suits, planets. Now this one I think is actually an important one because the sun symbol is universal. The Chinese use it, the Egyptians use it, the Westerners use it. The spot in the circle is the dark spot left in the eye when you look at the sun. That is my thesis. So, this entire deck is a means of grasping these symbols, which are otherwise rather unassailable in their strangeness. It's called Symbol, the Gift of Thoth. It is available at MemeIntelligenceAgency.com. I hope that I have given a bit of insight into the nature of the tarot. The tarot as a complete set of images of reality. Now, as for the divination, we can get into that a little bit. So, when we learn the pictures of the universe, the character of the manifold phenomena, and we pull a card, or we spread out the cards and we do a reading, we can see what type of phenomena is at play. And from that, we can tell a story. I've been reading for 10 years, and my relationship with the tarot is still developing every day. I read constantly, and I learn all the time new elements to it. Now, you might come away from this video thinking, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. I don't believe in this and I don't care about this. That's good. That's fine. You know, stick with Star Wars and Star Trek, which are quite the same. Pictures of the universe that you use to understand your life. I simply choose one that is very ancient, one that is very old, and one that has had manifest results in my life. So, if you are interested, if you come away from this thinking, wow, that seems really cool, DM me, let's do a tarot card reading. I've been, just recently I've started kind of reading cards for people, online, that is. I read cards in person all the time, but I've decided to open it to you. So if you're interested, send me a message, and remember that memes are these pictures of the universe. Memes are examples of phenomena. And in fact, these are memes. And memes could constitute a new deck of cards. So, as always, remember, memes matter.